Hi, I am Kenya and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to talk about the art of social climbing. You know, what makes the perfect social climber? What are the characteristics of a successful social climber? So I got a comment on one of my videos that I made called How to Social Climb, and the comment was, how do you social climb authentically? I believe that's how they worded the question. How do you authentically social climb? You know, how do you do it genuinely? I feel like the most successful social climbers are not like genuine people, and most of us are too honest and too nice to actually do the things that successful social climbers do to get where they want to be in life. You know, a lot of the times people are stepping on other people and pulling other people down to get to where they want to be, and many of us are just too kind, and that's why most of us are not billionaires, because we care too much about other people, like the poor and the environment and things like that. Anyway, years ago, maybe around 2020, I met this girl, right? And this is when I was doing real estate under a broker, and so she hits me up and she says, hey, I would like to meet new girlfriends and you seem like a nice person. So we exchanged phone numbers and we hung out a few times. Off the rip, this girl tells me, I only want to befriend people that can benefit me in the future, people that I can learn from. If I can't benefit from you or I can't get further in life, then I don't want to be your friend. I said, okay, all right. And then she was telling me about this girl that she was friends with, but she was going to cut her off. And the reason was because this friend was friends with the CEO of IHOP, right? And she wanted her friend to set up a meeting or a luncheon with herself and the CEO from IHOP, because she wanted to have a conversation with the CEO from IHOP to basically pick her brain. And because the friend wouldn't set up this meeting, she was gonna cut this friend off. Not because this friend was a bad friend to her or negative or anything like that. It's because she wouldn't connect her to the CEO of IHOP. Now, if she told me off the bat that she only wanted to befriend people that can help her elevate, I'm sure she probably told that friend, and that friend probably knew that. And like I said in my video, How to Social Climb, people have to actually like you. You have to be likable for them to put you on. And so if you're not likable, people are not going to connect you. For example, if I know someone is in need of a job and they're likable, and I know somebody that's hiring, I'll be, because I've done it a few times, like, oh, let me give you some leads, let me give you some contacts, let me connect you over here. I'll give you that contact, I'll give you that lead to connect you to where you need to go. But if I know that you're just literally using me for information, I'm not going to connect you. And my thing is, I wouldn't want to connect a friend to my CEO friend, because then we're going to be having dinner and you're going to be picking my friend's brain, and I know my friend just wants to get out and just enjoy themselves and have lunch, and now my friend is looking at me like, I don't want to talk about work. I'm trying to enjoy myself. I'm trying to have, you know, some lemon drops. I want to eat lobster. I want to gossip. I want to tell you about my upcoming vacations, or tell you about the vacations I just came from, you know. So that was that. So this girl that I did befriend, she called me a few times and she just like asked me general information. I am at a point in my life where I just want genuine friendships, okay? Genuine friendships. I just don't have time for that. I just feel like I'm too nice of a person, I'm too kind of a person to be friends with someone like that. I'm at a point in life where I just want to enjoy my friends, have a good time with my friends. We can lift each other up, you know. And that's that. Years ago, when I was doing like promotional modeling for like liquor brands, I met this lady and she was telling me how she went through a divorce and she needed extra money. So I knew a couple of agencies that were looking for like brand ambassadors and such. So I gave her the information. She reached out and she was like, hey, she's like, I reached out to them, they got back to me, I'm gonna be starting on X, Y, and Z date. She's like, thank you so much, I really appreciated you, you really helped me because I really needed the money. And so she's like, let me send you a gift card. So she sent me like a $10 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, which was great. And then she also told me that she had recently got approved for an apartment in like this affluent neighborhood in Bergen County, which was like, the rent was like a stupid affordable price. And she's like, oh, they have units over there, but you know, if you want to get in, I could talk to the leasing agent. So she was gonna vouch for me to move on up. Okay. And this is what I mean about, you have to be likable, you have to be a genuine person. People have to actually like you to put you on, to help you move up. Now at the time I wasn't in a position to move on up, but that was an excellent opportunity. Enough of that. Let's talk about our most notorious social climber of our generation. He is known as Anna Delvey, okay? Also known as Anna Sorokin. So I have my notes here on my laptop, so if you see me looking, I'm just trying to make sure I hit every point and that I don't misspeak, okay? So if you don't know who Anna Delvey is, the Anna Delvey story has been adapted into a Netflix miniseries called Inventing Anna, which came out in the year 2022, created by Shonda Rhimes. We love Shonda Rhimes. The series is based on Jessica Presla's New York Magazine article, How Anna Delvey Tricked New York's Party People. Alright, Julia Garner plays Anna Delvey, portraying her rise and fall in New York elite social scene. The show explores Anna's elaborate cons, her relationships, and the eventual unraveling of her schemes. It's a blend of drama and biographical storytelling with a focus on themes of deception, ambition, and the allure of wealth. So, if you haven't heard of Anna Delvey, like, where have you been? If you need to catch up on who Anna Delvey is, head on over to Netflix, okay? What made Anna Delvey such a good and successful social climber? That's what I wanted to know, right? The trains just love to go by. So Anna Delvey, also known as Anna Sorokin, was a master social climber who successfully infiltrated New York's elite circles by employing a combination of strategic deception, charisma, and social intelligence. And here's a breakdown of what made her particularly adept at social climbing. So number one, she had confidence and charisma. So Delvey exuded confidence and self-assurance, which made people more inclined to believe her stories. She cultivated an image of wealth and sophistication that made her appealing to influential people. Her charm and engaging personality allowed her to forge connections quickly and gain trust, even from skeptical individuals. Now, those skeptical individuals, I would bet, would be the empaths in the group, okay? Because if you know anything about empaths, they can walk in a room and scope it out, and they could tell who is on the BS and who is full of crap, who is faking a funk, and they could tell who is really authentic. And by the time the other people realized that the other person was not authentic, the empath is like, they're never shocked because they already knew. They already saw through it. Number two, attention to appearance and lifestyle. So she carefully crafted a persona of a wealthy European heiress by dressing in high-end designer clothing and staying in luxury hotels. This attention to detail helped solidify her image and gain access to exclusive social settings. And so she knew how to tap into certain energies to manifest what she actually wanted. Hope I explained that correctly. You see this with, you know, content creation houses. You can create all your content, take all your pictures, you know, and it seems like you're living this opulent and luxury life, and you're really not. And because it seems like you're living this opulent and luxury life, people are offering you things, sponsorships and brand deals, and to come out to certain events or vacation. Number three, networking skills and strategic relationships. Delvey was skilled at identifying and aligning herself with influential figures who could help her achieve her goals. She made connections with artists, entrepreneurs, and socialites, leveraging these relationships to gain credibility and opportunity. She attended exclusive events and art shows where she positioned herself as a patron of arts and a potential investor. And I feel like when you are connected to certain individuals or certain places, it does leverage your credibility. I had a friend recently invite me to like the Dumbo House, and I don't know if you've ever heard like the Soho House. It's like an exclusive membership club that people who are, I'm guessing, well-to-do attend. And he hits me up and he's like, Kenya, you have a lot to offer as a person. You should socialize more. You should get out. Come out to the Dumbo House with me. And I feel like these are like certain types of places where well-to-do people are, and if you are connected to these places or are seen at these places, it does give you more credibility. Like, I don't really care about like social climbing and things like that. Like, I was just like, you know, maybe next time, I'll go next time. And it's so funny, I was telling my director at work about it. She was like, girl, I would have went. She said, I just be wanting to know what's going on, like what the scene is like, you know. And again, like I said, you have to be someone who is likable for someone to want to bring you into their environments like that. Number 4, manipulation and persuasion. So Delvey had an uncanny ability to read people and tailor her approach to suit each interaction. She manipulated situations to her advantage using charm, flattery, and occasional displays of vulnerability to elicit sympathy and support. She often used elaborate stories about her background and business ventures to gain financial support and favors. So beware of those people that always have a sob story, or they have this victim mentality. Everything's always happening to them. But be aware of people who always have a sob story, okay? They pull at your heartstrings and you're like, oh my gosh, like, how can I help you? Like, do you need help? Like, beware of them. And it's crazy to know that there are people out there that are able to read you and to just manipulate you. Wow, that's crazy. Number 5, exploring social norms and assumptions. So Delvey took advantage of the assumption that wealthy people do not need to prove their wealth. By behaving as if she belonged in elite spaces, she avoided scrutiny. She also exploited the fear of missing out. We call it FOMO, okay? By presenting herself as someone with access to exclusive opportunities, making people eager to be associated with her. Like, this is very key. You ever find yourself in a fancy environment, like you get there and it looks a little too fancy and you're just looking at yourself like, oh, am I dressed accordingly? Am I up to par? You start questioning yourself. Or you go into a Chanel boutique in Manhattan and you're looking around and you're just like, you don't want to touch anything. You're scared you're about to break something. And then someone always says, act like you belong here. Walk like you belong here. Put your shoulders back. Walk with your head up. Like, there's always someone to tell you, act like you belong here. And I feel like that is very key. I feel like I've mastered the art of acting like I belong somewhere. Like, it's my birthright to be there. I'm definitely very good at that. And I feel like a lot of that also comes from my background working in promotional modeling when I was in my 20s, like just showing up to so many like different exclusive events and working with so many brands. Persistence and risk taking. Are you a risk taker? I'm trying to be more of a risk taker. Her audacity and willingness to take risks, such as attempting to secure multi-million-dollar loans for a fake foundation, was central to her success. She continually pushed boundaries until she was caught. Now, I don't think I'm that much of a risk taker. I don't think I could attempt to secure multi-million-dollar loans for a fake business venture. So this is an example of her persistence and risk taking. In one instance, she convinced her friends and business associates to fund a lavish trip to Morocco by promising reimbursement, a strategy that relied on trust in her carefully built image. So in conclusion, Anna Delvey's social climbing success stemmed from a blend of confidence, strategic relationship building, and an acute understanding of how to exploit social hierarchies and perceptions. Her story highlights how appearances and narratives can be manipulated to gain power and influence. Your appearance is something that is very important. People will judge you based on your overall appearance. And I'm just gonna reflect it back onto my 20s when I was really like always in Manhattan, New York City. I remember my friend, she was a model and she would always like put me as her +1, and she's like, Kenya, I got invited to this party in New York City, do you want to come? We roll up to this party. It's like a black building, and we're looking around like, and I'm like, girl, is this? And so this man comes out, this huge black man in a black suit, and he's like a bouncer, and he's like, how can I help you ladies? And my friend's like, oh, we're on the guest list. And so she gave him her name. He looked at the guest list and was like, all right, ladies, come in. When I told you, we went inside, it was like some Great Gatsby type of a party. Very exclusive, younger, like people in their like 20s, maybe 30s in this party. There was like a flapper, there was like a poker table, another room, somebody's playing the piano and like this dark classical music. When I tell you, me and my friend were just standing and looking around like, we were like, and everybody was like so polished. The men had on nice suits, very tailored. Like, these are like the types of environments that I found myself in my 20s. And my friend, she's a model. I feel like there is a certain, this might be controversial, y'all, don't curse me out in the comments, but I feel like as far as a black girl, there's a certain way that you must carry yourself and that you must be for people to feel like you are palatable enough to be in those types of environments. And now that I'm looking back, I was always very slim. 5'7". I always had very straight hair. Normally when I'm talking to people, I talk in a very soft way. So this could be a whole other video because I have so much to say on this particular topic. But that is, I feel like, what allowed me to navigate in these certain spaces, you know. And my friend would always be like, act like you belong here. And she's like, in a year we're gonna be millionaires, we're gonna be the ones at throwing these parties. Like, she was so positive. She was always talking about like manifestation and the law of attraction, and those are the type of people that you need to be around, okay? And anytime she had an event that she was booked for, she would always say, hey, my friend would love to work this event too, you need any more people? And then she would hit me up, Kenya, say, send your resume and your headshots, and then I would do it, and I would also get booked. So like I said, it always comes back to being likable, because I never wanted to be a model or be in those spaces. It just sort of fell into my lap. So I always wondered, like, did Anna have a personality disorder? Like, how was she able to do these things with a straight face? According to research, the Mind Psychiatrist website, and Nina Zapala, I'm going to try to link these below in the video so you guys can read for your own reference. So Anna Delvey, also known as Anna Sorokin, is often described as displaying traits associated with psychopathy and narcissism, which contributed to her ability to successfully navigate and manipulate elite social circles. Her personality is marked by traits such as superficial charm, manipulativeness, I've never had to say that word before, a lack of empathy, and impulsivity. These characteristics enabled her to craft a convincing persona as a wealthy heiress and gain access to influential people and resources. She was strategic in using emotional manipulation, often crafting stories that elicited sympathy from others. This emotional awareness, combined with her charm, allowed her to build trust and exploit social networks for personal gain. Some analysis suggests that she exhibited behavior consistent with being results-driven and detached from the emotions of others, making it easy for her to focus on achieving her goals without considering the impact on those around her.
I have no patience for people's stupidity.
Do you feel bad about some of the people that got burnt along the way?
Can you name me the names of the people? And I'll tell you if I feel bad about them.
Do you see this whole thing as a victimless crime?
I don't see this case as a crime at all. How about that?
How can you not see it as a crime?
What was that so criminal that I've done?
So Anna Delvey is actually from a small town near Moscow, Russia. And so she ran all of these schemes in the US of A and hasn't been deported. Instead, she did go to prison, but have since been awarded with so many opportunities. So many opportunities. It's like so unfair. It's very much so unfair. eventually settled in a town near Cologne. I want to say Cologne is in France, where her father worked as a truck driver and eventually started a business in heating and cooling systems. She attended school in Germany before moving to London and later Paris, where she began cultivating the persona of Anna Delvey, a wealthy heiress. Fabricated background played a significant role in her schemes, as she claimed to be from a wealthy European family while living in New York and conning the elite social scene. And so, as many of us want to know, well, I want to know, like, why hasn't Anna been deported yet? Like, what's taking so long? Because I feel like, and we're in a time period where illegal immigration is like the topic every day. And for like brown people, like people that are Latino or of African descent, they would have been gone. Okay, gone with the wind fabulous. Anna Delvey has not been deported from the US yet due to ongoing legal battles. Despite a signed deportation order, her legal team filed appeals and motions to delay her removal. She remains in ICE custody in New York as authorities work through procedural issues and schedule new deportation dates. Her detention stems from overstaying her visa, and delays have been attributed to complex immigration processes and legal maneuvers. Now that came from the People magazine website. So that is my video on Anna Delvey, who was born Anna Sorokin, on how she was basically one of the most successful social climbers of our time, and letting you know how she was able to social climb and be as successful as she was. So I hope this video was informative, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos and hit the like button, and I will see you guys in my next YouTube video. Toodles.